Hello and welcome to Seasonal Anime Impressions for Fall 2022. This season kind of blows fat chunks, but I'll try to get through it as quick as possible because I'm a busy guy. Anyhow, really glad that having a lot of new viewers coming in. Pretty cool. Welcome. This is a seasonal process where I get to exhibit the laziest content creation on the planet and just get to talk for 50 minutes approximately and discuss every single show because I'm a maniac who watches every single show, or at least gives them a try. Better words. So, three things I look for: characters and characters' designs in these shows, because characters really important to me because I spend a lot of time with these people and I probably should, like them on some level if I continue to watch it. Visuals is the second thing I look for. Uh, I'm looking for a degree of polish sometimes. I'm looking for some cool background art maybe. I'm looking for cool animation sequences. Uh, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm looking for stylistic elements. You know, the animators showing their chops or whatever. In some way. If it looks nice. And the final but most important element of all this is engagement slash entertainment value. That one is pretty self-explanatory. If I'm not engaged or I'm not entertained, I'm not having fun, just give up. Give up. All right, let's begin. First show up on the block is Uchi no Shishou wa Shippo ga nai. My master has no tail. Leiden Films. Can't say I'm a big fan of Leiden Films. TBH. Swipe up for TBH. Let's see what I had to say about it. Red alert! Red alert! We have a Rakugo show, ladies and gentlemen. We can't all be Rakugo Shinju, so I'm not saying it has to be that good. But if you're gonna do a Rakugo show, at least have the person doing the Rakugo have more screen time. I mean, that's kind of the entire point, isn't it? I don't mind the visual narrative being a dual narrative, but if you're gonna do that, at least have it be equally interesting on both ends. I'm pretty sure it's historically inaccurate to have a woman perform Rakugo in the Meiji era. I even had to look it up because I was like, that can't be right. I understand it's less serious and goofy because there's whole tanuki thing going on. It's like a magic tanuki, but it's still not even that interesting with two female protagonists, who, by the way, have boring character designs, and I don't foresee them carrying anything going forward. Pretty self-explanatory here. Not a fan of this show. Is this sorted by start date? Okay, it is. Akuyaku, Reijou, nanode, last boss wo Kattemimashita. I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. Maho film. What did Maho film do? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, they've done nothing. 1 minute drop. Whoever is in charge of playing with the light filters, please stop. Your show is too bright. Turn down the brightness by 500%, and it might become watchable without burning my eyeballs. Goodbye. Did not watch Spy X Family because I did not watch the first season in full because I didn't like it. Noumin, Kanren, no skill, bakka, Agetetara, Nazeka, Tsuyoku, Natta. I've somehow gotten stronger when I improve my farm-related skills. Tell me right from the start if you saw this title, you're like absolutely hooked. You know? Let's do a cat. What they do? Drop, 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 drop. Okay. 3 minute drop. Just when you think the show might not be an MMORPG, it brings the skill trees and the level ups to the table. Also, the production in this show is some hot garbage. Even at 1080p, it feels like I'm watching it at 2008 YouTube Spanish Naruto levels. Koukyuu no Karasu, Raven of the Inner Palace, Bandai Namco Pictures. Can't wait. 4 minute drop. So we're in China with Chinese names, Chinese characters. All the scenery and architecture is Chinese, and all of our characters speak Japanese. Seems like a lot of effort just to make that happen. That aside, the opening sequence was just an emotionless dude getting some revenge, then we get some long exposition dump. Hilarious. The art is unimpressive as well. Thank you. I don't know how this is still continuing. C Danchi, Housing Complex C. Akatsuki. What did they do? Nothing? Okay, nothing. 1 minute drop. We don't even get 15 seconds of real time action before going to flashback land for longer than our actual action sequence. Awesome. And I watched this in dub. Oh, here we go. Yuusha Party wo Tsuihou sareta Beast Tamer. Saikyoushu no Nekomimi Shoujo to Deau. Beast Tamer. EMT squared. I can't wait. 30-second drop. They managed within 30 seconds to show me everything I need to drop the show. These sentences right now I'm writing is more time than I spent actually watching the show. They could not have created 5 more bland characters and a more pathetically dramatic scenario than what I saw here. Thank you. Okay. Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury, Sunrise. Yep. Sunrise and their Gundam shows. 10-minute drop. The show feels special. It's got polish. It's got some cool character dynamics, but I think the struggle for me is that it's a Gundam show, or that it isn't, hold on. But I think the struggle for me isn't that it's a Gundam show. It's that after 10 minutes, I was just getting increasingly more bored and diminishing, or disinteresting in where we were actually going. I think that should be disinterested. Grammatical mistake. If I was more patient, maybe I could have completed the episode, but I'm not. Unfortunate, Sunrise. Pop Team Epic. Pop Team Epic. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Pop Team Epic. Back in, I think 2017 was when the prequel came out. 2018, yeah. I really liked Pop Team Epic. I gave it a good. And it's back, and it's still pretty good. The Prodigal Son returns. You know, actually, I wrote that because I watched Iron Man 1. Recently, at least. Pop Team Epic is back, better than ever. We jump straight into the action. Not every joke lands, but the prospect of making me smile is not a feat that I take lightly. Aside from the actual comedy portion, which isn't even that prominent, the entertainment in just seeing 20-second animation switches, voice actors changing their voices constantly, and other wacky nonsense is fun. Momentum-wise, it didn't get old. I could watch this show for the season and be pretty happy with it. I don't think you can go wrong with Pop Team Epic, TBH. Swipe up for TBH. Ladies and gentlemen, Berserk, the Golden Age arc. You know, this is just a re-edit of the movies. So, if you didn't watch the movies, you could probably watch this and it's the exact same thing. Although I would not suggest watching this as one's first introduction to Berserk, I actually like the first movie of this trilogy. All of this is just reused and reused footage, episodically paced, but it's not abysmal like some people are painting it. As always, anyone will tell you that it's better to just read the manga or watch the 1997, but in truth, this is completely watchable and enjoyable. Might not be as good, but it's still entertaining. I don't know. I don't know why people trash on this. It's like not even that bad. At least the first movie in the trilogy wasn't that bad. But you know, I'm fine with watching this. It's just Berserk with polished visuals, some of them at least, not the, you know, obvious CG moments, but you get it. Shinmai Renkin Jutsushi no Tenpo KA. Management of a novice alchemist. Engi. What have they done? Never heard of this. Okay. Yep. Drop, 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 drop. That's how you know this is a promising studio. This is a real up and comer. Let's see. 3-minute drop. Another show that has less than 10 seconds of present time action, then goes to flashback as soon as possible. Also, the colors, even in flashback land, and the present look really washed out. Either someone put a really bad filter on this show, or that's it. Someone had a bad filter on this show. Even in the promo visual, a lot of brightness. Shinobi no Itoki, Troika. Don't they make like the lesbian shows? Yeah, they made Bloom Into You. Saw that one. I guess that's one. That's not several. Okay, I seem to have written something. They whipped out the black bar aspect ratio and the film tearing effects. For the love of God! Damn! Damn!
God! For the love of God! Please! Damn! Damn!
That seems really appropriate considering how my past self felt about the film grain or the film tearing effects and the black bars. 2-minute drop. I like how we set the atmosphere and music on high alert, like stuff was about to go down in a second, and the minute the title card finishes, we are just sitting in a calm middle school during class. And get this, we immediately dropped the whole aspect ratio and film tearing effects. It lasted like 10 seconds. Awesome. I said it myself, double awesome sauce. And of course, our black spiky haired MC. Can't go wrong with that. Alright. Tensei Shitara Ken Deshita reincarnated as a sword. C2C. 2-minute drop. You're already cutting it extremely close, making the entire premise that you reincarnate as a lolly sword, and then they hit you with the MMORPG lingo, and it's just over. Yep, sounds about right. Human Bug Daigaku. The Human Crazy University. DLE. What have they done? They make a lot of short anime, it seems. You know, like classic 3-minute episodes. Or not, I don't know. 3-minute drop. Don't see myself watching this show, mostly because it's unpleasing to the eye. Animation wise, it feels like I'm watching a puppet show. Vazzrock The Animation. 1-minute drop. The OP and alone was enough information to let me know that I will not like this show. Ugly characters mostly. Futoku no Guild, Immoral Guild, TNK. 2-minute drop. Our first raunchy show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really get the point of doing something where the girls are getting sexually assaulted in the first 10 seconds and you aren't actually like doing anything with it. Because you're going for the raunchy sexual stuff and then you basically present it as a slideshow. It also doesn't help that we have a lifeless main character who doesn't exploit the raunchiness of the plot. Like surely they must know their target audience is looking to see some, you know, people in a harem. Like this is exactly the point of the show. So I don't think they just explore or have understood the genre they're actually adapting, it seems. Like this is based off a manga. Like hello. If you're gonna go raunchy, just go full raunchy. I don't get it. Kage no Jitsuru Kusha ni Naritakute! Exclamation mark. The Eminence in Shadow. Studio Nexus. Who the heck are these guys? Oh, they made Darwin's Game back in 2020, and then that's it. Have not gone back that far, it seems. Oh shoot, I didn't read what I said on it. It's gonna be so insightful. 2-minute drop. The main girl's hairstyle is so absurd, I can't take it seriously. It also doesn't help that we have zero contrast between the first two characters we are introduced to. Both black-haired, generic light novel characters. GG, go next. Awesome. Okay. Here's our first continued watching show that made it past screening. Mob Psycho 103. Did not enjoy this. I really did not enjoy this. The first episode was so boring, I could feel my eyes drooping constantly. If they don't start giving me something to work with, I don't have the patience to keep going. What a dull episode to kick off with. The artwork is fine, more of the same. The characters felt blander and pretty dull. I'm just not feeling other than most of the same with this show. Uh, which by my metric of the last season is becoming increasingly more dangerous. So if episode 2 doesn't pick up, I'm done with this series. That first episode was just so terrible. Like literally nothing happened. Next, Mushikaburi-hime, Bibliophile Princess Madhouse Show. That is crazy. I didn't even when I was watching this, I didn't even realize it was a Madhouse show, and now I'm just even more disappointed. 3 minute drop, too bright, boring self-narration. That's depressing. Do it yourself. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. You see, you gotta have the 2 exclamation marks, or else you just don't get it. Pine Jam. I watched the entire episode. Let's see what I had to say. A lot, apparently. Although the production feels incredibly polished, or inconsistently polished, I think it helps that we are presented with a goofy slice of life. I think the airhead and childhood friend dynamic is pretty cute. Both of them get a fair amount of screen time and interaction, even when living separate lives. The scenes are pretty well thought out. A lot of ideas in the episode trying to explore classism and happiness and simplicity compared to the pride that comes with wealth and intellect. Or maybe I'm just looking at it too intensely. Either way, the show seems to want to parent out in a K-On atmosphere, but the thing is, our main character, Airhead, is pretty stupid, like really stupid. So I have no idea what even makes her like stupid funny, which is like not good because Yui is stupid funny, whereas this girl is just like stupid. It might be cute and entertaining for some people, but it's not for me. Honestly, you could probably watch this as your cute girl show for this season, and you would not be disappointed, in my humble opinion. Because the visuals are pretty good, or they're not pretty good, but they look cool in some way. Uh, Next show that passed screening is Akiba Meido Senso Akihabara Maid War PA Works. I have a storied history with PA Works, and I wrote a lot down here because, you know, this show actually piqued my interest. Let's just hope that PA Works doesn't blow the entire budget on this episode alone. They tend to make their shows really pretty with a lot less substance, so that's how they roll. They've had a couple of shows or movies they've done with polish and the substance to make it worthwhile, but those shows are Shirobako and Makia. You're not getting those every day. In this show, I like the concept. It's fun. You get your main hook. It's got the aesthetic nicely integrated with the Akihabara maid scene and some of the mafia criminal underworld. Kind of boasts some pretty cool flair direction with its montage musical sequences. But let's be cautious, optimistic. PA Works hasn't really made a good product since 2018, and the director of this show, Soichi Masui, was the Bunny Girl Senpai movie director, and that was terrible. So, yeah, I am cautious of this show because signs are pointing that it's not going to be very good. Funny enough, it's not very popular, which I feel like it should be, considering the premise is actually kind of mainstream. I mean, it's got the hook and everything you could probably want. Alright, next. Seiken Densetsu, Legend of Mana, Teardrop Crystal, Legend of Mana, Teardrop Crystal, Yokohama Animation Lab, Graphinica. 5 minute drop does have the polish, but the main character is kind of an idiot and his design is terrible. I was bored. Bocchi the Rock. Cloverworks. Lord have mercy on my soul. A Cloverworks show has entered the fray. 20-second drop. I'm not dealing with this straight off the bat sob story narration flashback. I'm not dealing with this. Stop doing this. Add that to Cloverworks' illustrious record of just shows that are absolutely terrible for years on end. God. How can you just consistently make the worst products? I don't get it. Foo, Ijo, Koibito, Miman. More than a married couple, but not lovers. What a great title. Studio Mother. 2-minute drop. Aside from the obvious title, I know that I would rather gouge my eyeballs out than actually see how this plays out. The whole charade of will he, won't he, or the blue ball me for 10 episodes with female teasing is a fate I will not subject myself to. The character designs are boring, and the lighting is blinding. Some of these production teams might want to invest into a person with eyeballs at some point. Blue Lock. Studio 8-bit. 3-minute drop. I was sorta in until the main character started to dump this worthless drama sequence on us. Like, go home, drama queen. It ain't that deep. Eternal Boys, Leiden films. Not a fan of Leiden films. 4-minute drop. Just your average salaryman turned idol show. Am I really gonna sit for 12 episodes to watch this happen? Nope. Cool Doji, Danchi, play it cool, guys. Studio Pierrot. 1-minute drop. Characters look like garbage, and this introduction sequence makes me want to go to bed. Chainsaw Man. Actually, I just saw episode 4, so I'll mark that as 4. Studio Mappa. Now, I also have a storied history with Studio Mappa because they also have very inconsistent works. Yeah, it seems that I've not really been hooked on a lot of Mappa shows over these past few years. A lot of drops, very few completed actual shows, and when I do complete a show from them, it's still not very good. Usually their shows don't breach past 7. I think Attack on Titan I gave this one a good, so that's like the first 7 I've given them, unless I'm mistaken. Definitely not Dorohedoro. Definitely not Kakiguri. Definitely not In This Corner of the World. Maybe actually, I think I gave it a 6. Yeah, 6. So, yes, started history. Masao Maruyama. Kind of the GOAT, but not really in Studio Mappa. Definitely not doing as cool stuff as he did at Madhouse, but I don't even know if he still works there, honestly. I think he's like on his deathbed or something. I mean, he's really old. I really doubt he's producing all these shows. Yeah, it's this guy now. But founder was Masao Maruyama, so, let's just get into the show. I didn't comment on episode 4, but it was pretty good. 10 seconds into the show, I was already clicking off to check who the background designer was, which is a fairly good sign because it's not listed on Mal, but this show really does look polished. The backgrounds are really nice. If you look at them actually in the first episode and pretty much every episode, you'll notice that the background's hyper detailed, and I can appreciate something like that. The OP has some pretty nice visual elements, but the song, I did not like the OP song. I think it should have been like some heavy death metal instead of like half J-pop, half rock. Kind of felt like the wrong type of song. Usually I'm against flashbacks, but the young Denchi flashback had both the visual and character interests, so I'll let it slide. As to the build-up, tension release of the episode, pretty good. Let's see. I think the idea of him just getting ultra crazy powers and slaying out right away is the right move. Just skip the mastering and training of these moves. You know, I'm just gonna skip all this. It's been a while since I've seen Devilman Crybaby, so maybe I'm too skeptical and not as open as I think I am because, we open with just straight up carnage, and usually when you open up with straight up carnage, you have to have like some sort of substance to back it up, but I guess the first episode had enough substance to like make it work. Makima's pretty cool. Overall, I think I can recommend the first episode as a solid like short film watch if you really wanted to. Episode 2, lots of talking, flashbacks, less interesting. Episode 3, pretty good. Good use of flashbacks, tension building. Background art was good, and Kensuke Ushio put his whole Uchi into it. And then episode 4, it's good. Renai flops, love flops, studio passion, make a lot of girl shows, I was kind of mad about this one. Could they have been any more basic? Like seriously, you could not have picked more basic characters with a more basic introduction. Give up. It also upsets me that they deliberately make everything extra colorful when there is zero artistic merit or idea behind it. The episode is just all members of this harem bumping into him and having sexual funnies happen. So the premise is that he has a harem, but he's a beta male. So explain to me how I will have fun watching this without him having sexual intercourse every episode. I just don't see a reality where that's fun. We can't all be Reijou feeler. Aru Asa, dummy head Mike ni Natareta Oreku no Jinsei. In division Nekachi Elpilka. 1 minute drop. So he reincarnates into a microphone. Awesome. Urusei Yatsura. 2022. David. Taking a break from their JoJo. 2 minute drop. Just watch the original. I mean, anybody will tell you that. Just watch the original. Bornin wa Sorezore Uso wo Tsuyoku. Little lies we all tell. Studio Flad. What have they done? Oh, this is like barely anything. That's cool. 3 minute drop. The characters are not even cute, which kind of deflates the whole idea of them doing anything cute. It doesn't help that they are also annoying. And our last show, Arknights Reime Zenso, Arknights Animation, Prelude to Dawn, Yostar Pictures. What have they done? Do it yourself. Okay, drop that. They've done 3 shows this season. Good for you. They did Azur Lane, and they did another Azur Lane. I went pretty far into this episode compared to the rest. 13 minute drop. These guys are lucky that the premise and the art of this show looks competent. Otherwise, I would have dropped the show immediately. For one, if they continue to do the stupid 35mm black bars and unnecessary film grain, this show will be annoying as hell to watch. The other problem is these characters. Their designs are pretty boring, and their names are just annoying. I almost lost it when she said doctor for the 50th time in 10 seconds. Like I said, the show is being hard carried by its visuals, minus the BS and some semi-interesting introduction. If we had dropped the stupid fake film aesthetic, maybe I would have continued, but probably not. It's kind of boring in the middle where they just talk. And that is fall 2022, ladies and gentlemen. I sped ran that because I do not have the patience to sit here all day. Let's just go over what made it past screening. Okay. Mob Psycho, don't recommend. Kind of sucks. Maybe it picks up. I doubt it. They've kind of exhausted this idea. Even in season 2, I was already like understanding that this was not really going anywhere. Pop Team Epic. I mean, this show pretty much will not go anywhere, but that's kind of the point. It's just it's a gag show. So if you're in for, some gags and some cool animation cuts, I would give this one a try because it's pretty fun. I will not lie, it's pretty fun. I would recommend this if you were a watcher of Pop Team Epic Season 1. Even if you weren't, you could still watch this and you could totally just watch the entire thing without seeing season one. Chainsaw Man, I recommend it. I think it's pretty competent considering, you know, it's kind of coming from one of the premier studios today. Even though I don't really think they're a premier studio, but everyone seems to think they are. But you know, this is by no means a bad product. What we're getting here is like predictably like a 6, maybe 7 show by the midpoint. Since I'm already at episode 4, I'm already thinking like 5 or 6. So, you know, Berserk, don't bother watching it. I just watch it for fun, just because I feel like it. And then Akihabara, Maid War. Give this one a try. I'll recommend it. First episode was pretty competent. I just don't see it panning out, especially because PA Works isn't like the most competent studio, and a lot of their original works haven't panned out. Like their last original work was that Aquatope show. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but I do because I have to watch everything, and that show stunk. So, you know, take it as you will. This is the first season in a long time I've recommended anything for one, and then I'm recommending 3 different shows. So this is actually one of the best seasons we've had in a long time, despite my pretty bored tone and approach here today. But this is one of the best seasons we've had in quite a while. If 3 shows are getting recommended, I'm saying it. So that's it. You're welcome for my suffering. You know, I've suffered and toiled through this entire season just so I could recommend those 3 shows. What do I get? I don't get sloppy. Where's my sloppy? I don't get it. Oh God. It's over. It's over. It's literally over. Give up. Give up. It's over.